So I was debating going out for a ride today, but it is windy AF. So I think we'll train inside instead. Shouts to the Fuel Fitness bike, because that's what I was doing before I had any bikes. The resistance weren't great, but yeah. So this is my training setup. The bike that is on here now was my starter bike. Let me just explain everything to those who may not know what they're looking at. So at the back here, that is a Tacx, I don't know how people say it, Flux 2 Smart Trainer. As you can see, you take the back wheel off and my other wheels are over here, and you'll have to excuse the garage. But yeah. So you take the back wheel off, you put a cassette onto the Smart Trainer, which then connects to the Smart Trainer connects to your phone or your laptop, and through an app like Zwift or Tacx or Tacx also have their own app that you can ride, like Yorkshire rides and stuff like that. Shouts to the buffet over there. The bike attaches and then provides resistance. So for example, on a Zwift session like I'll be doing today, it provides resistance to whatever you're training to. So if you're putting out, example, 180 watts of power for 2 minutes, there's a motor in here that will provide that resistance. So basically it's like riding on the road but connecting to a laptop, which I put on there, which is a £20 crate from Costco. You can get like tables that sit over your handlebars that you rest the laptop on, but get a music stand like one of my friends suggested and just bend it so it sits on there. Anyway, bit of a small fan. I think I need to get a bigger one. Usually we can have the look at this bike, check the bike. That's the old school bike. Usually have the garage door open for cooling. But yeah, that's about the Smart Trainer. I'm sure people know what they are. I'm very lucky to have this Smart Trainer. It's quite a lot of money. I think this one was $6.99. You can also get ones where you keep the back wheel on the bike and it just goes on a roller, which are a lot cheaper. I think they're about, don't quote me on this, but 200 to 300. But yeah, I'm extremely lucky to have this. So a little bit about the bike. This is my starter bike that I started with last July. And it's a Specialized Allez 2020, I believe, or it might be 2019, so correct me on that. And it is a lovely bike. It's an aluminium frame. It's got different wheels on it now, because I went for the Campagnolo Siroccos, which are a slight upgrade from these bad boys, which came with, these are Axis sport wheels, which actually came with the bike. It's a lovely bike, like so good. It's got Shimano Claris on it, which I got it on Cycle to Work scheme. So rather than spend the whole £1,000, I took a cheaper bike and got some extras. So I got my helmet, which is over there on the bag for Cycle to Work, cycling to the station. The bike itself, a kryptonite lock and cable, which I'll show you later, and the bike. So rather than just go for a top end bike, which I wanted to go for the Specialized Allez Elite, which has got Shimano 105 on it, which was recommended to me, but I just didn't have the money at the time to be able to top it up. I think the Elite was 1,050. I didn't have the extra 50 quid and I couldn't afford to get the helmet and all that stuff. So I went for the basic Allez. And it's a great bike. It lasted me like a year and a bit with no issues. I indexed the gears myself, self-taught off YouTube. I guess I could do something like that and show you how to index gears. I'm not the greatest, but I think I got it discounted for 550 quid rather than 650, because it was in the sale and the 2020 models were coming out, I believe. So that's why. That was before the bike rush. So yeah, super smooth. I didn't have clip-in pedals at the time. I had like the cages. It got me out doing miles. I did all my first routes on that. They're on my Instagram, where I well documented my backside absolutely killing me. On 20k rides, 15k rides, stuff that now I take for granted because I'm a little bit fitter. But as a starter bike, I absolutely loved it. You're gonna have to excuse the garage because like, it's a pain cave, believe me, when it gets going, and I'll shoot a little bit of my workout. So now I'm lucky enough to have some of these bikes. The Pendleton's not mine, but I'll show you my bike. I'm going to get a bike fit on next week, which I'll try to document and do a little bit of filming, which I'll come onto in a later video and do some explaining about my new bike, which I absolutely love. This bike stays on the Smart Trainer, which it wouldn't be a problem to take it on and off. In fact, one of my good friends does it, but it is a little bit messy if you're cycling in the rain and you've got a little bit of grit and stuff on your cassette. So I'm super privileged to be able to have a bike left on the turbo trainer of that quality with an 8-speed cassette. So yeah, that's my training setup really. And now I'm gonna hit up, I'm on week 5 of the FTP builder on Zwift, and today's threshold development, which is working at like the top end of my power and cardio ability. So I think I'm going to be in for some pain. So I'm just getting into a warm up on Zwift, and I'll probably get more and more out of breath as this continues. In fact, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me very well because the fan is going and the trainer's going, but the laptop is in place. Wearing like a base, this used to be really tight on me. That's got a little bit looser, or maybe it's just stretched. Just a quick point on bibs. Had a pair of cheap bibs that everyone says, wear cheap bibs, wear cheap bibs. And where I'm quite heavy on like not a lot of saddle, it made more sense to me to wear a quite nice pair of Rafa Core cargo bibs. And sometimes I just wear a t-shirt or nothing at all, but you don't want to see that. Not yet anyway. But the comfort of nicer bibs, you will wear them out quicker, but that's not happened to me yet. The comfort they provide is just better. So I will put this Zwift workout on the screen or a screenshot of it so we can look at power and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm gonna get into this, get my head down, because I like to get my music on. So yeah, I'll see you in a mess in a minute probably. Not too bad. First block of grey. A little bit of rest. Feeling good. Swerving all over the place. So you can see it doesn't. So that was pretty brutal. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I thought, oh yeah, went off a bit like a steam train. And then you get into sort of like that middle section of greens followed by the yellow. It's not, you can blast the RPM and keep your cadence high, but when you've got to push 195 watts at like 60 RPM and then 200 at 90 RPM, that increase and decrease is a killer. It's obviously using different muscle fiber twitches in your legs. Yeah, I'm gonna cool off for a bit, I think. Brutal. So, did some stretching, had a shower, just had a monster Turkish mixed kebab. That's going to round up my training video for today. Didn't want to go too in depth, just like an overview and give you an idea of how I train when it's bloody windy outside. But yeah, if you could like, comment and subscribe, I'll see you in the next one.